So it is the last day of the year, December 31st, New Year's Eve. I would like to thank all of you for watching Spinach Omelette during 2021. It's been a crazy year with the virus and everything, but at least we've made some great recipes here, and hopefully in 2022, things will start getting even better. Anyways, with that being said today, we've got a delicious recipe to end off the year here on Spinach Omelette. We're making what I consider to be the most epic Spanish omelet. We're talking Truita amb suc. This recipe hails from the beautiful province of Tarragona in the region of Catalunya. Now this omelet is not your typical omelet. This one is filled with garlicky spinach and white beans, and then it's topped off with a bold Romesco sauce that take things to the next level, folks. Not only is this omelet super delicious, but it's very healthy for you, and it comes together in about 20 minutes. Let's begin by making the Romesco sauce first. I'm going to add in 5 jarred roasted red bell peppers into a food processor. I'm also going to add in a 1/4 cup of canned tomato concentrate, which is 60 grams. 8 roasted hazelnuts, and 8 roasted almonds. The ones that I'm using, I bought pre-roasted. 1 large clove of garlic. 1 teaspoon of sherry vinegar, which is 5 milliliters. You can also use red wine vinegar if you prefer. And a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. Then we'll season with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll run the food processor on a low speed between 2 to 3 minutes, or until we end up with a beautiful creamy sauce with no lumps in it. And that's the exact texture you want from your Romesco sauce. It's nice and creamy, and it has no lumps in it. For the next step of the recipe, let's start getting the ingredients ready for the omelet. I'm going to roughly chop 3 cloves of garlic, grab 3½ ounces of fresh spinach, which is 100 grams, and roughly chop it. The spinach that I'm using is bag spinach. As you know, I love this stuff because it's inexpensive and pre-cleaned, but you can also use frozen spinach here. Just make sure you fully thaw it out and pat it completely dry. We'll grab a jar of white beans, which is the same thing as the canned ones, add them into a sieve, and rinse them under some cold running water. The size of the jar that I'm using is 295 grams, which becomes 210 grams when it's drained, or 1¼ cups of cooked white beans. And we'll crack 4 eggs into a large bowl. The eggs that I'm using are cage-free organic eggs, but you can use whatever eggs you like. We'll season them with a little sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll whisk the eggs together until they're well mixed. Alright, let's start cooking our omelet. I'm going to grab a large non-stick fry pan. Important to use non-stick here, that way the eggs don't stick to the surface. I'm going to heat it with a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. After heating the olive oil for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in the roughly chopped garlic and mix it around with the olive oil. Very important to mix this continuously, that way the garlic doesn't brown too quickly and it all evenly sautés. After about 30 seconds and the garlic is nice and aromatic, you don't want to overcook it. I'm going to start adding the spinach into the pan and mix the spinach around with the olive oil and the garlic, that way it easily wilts. Once the spinach is fully wilted, I'm going to add in the white beans into the pan, and we'll season with a little sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a gentle mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together. And once again, remember to be gentle here, otherwise you can easily break those white beans apart. Then we'll remove the pan from the heat and transfer the bean and spinach mixture into the bowl with the whisked eggs. And we'll give this a gentle mix and then let it sit here for a couple minutes, that way the flavors can develop. In the meantime, let's grab the same non-stick fry pan that we cooked the garlic, spinach, and white beans in, heat it with a medium heat, and add in 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which is 15 milliliters. And make sure to swirl the pan, that way that olive oil evenly coats the entire surface. After leaving our mixture for a couple minutes, I'm going to add it into the hot pan with the olive oil. And make sure to spread the mixture around, that way it's evenly distributed. And make sure to swirl the pan around every 30 seconds or so. This is to ensure that the eggs are not sticking to the pan. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to gently fold the omelet in half, and if you see that your omelet breaks a little bit, just like mine did, no big deal. Later on when we flip it, it's going to cover that broken piece, and that little bit of raw egg that's left in there is going to drip into the broken part of the omelet and completely seal it. Then we end up with a beautiful omelet. After about 30 seconds, I'm going to flip the omelet to cook the other side. I like to do this using a plate that's a little bit smaller than the pan, as it makes it so much easier. And as you can see, look how beautiful the other side of the omelet is. And once again, whatever raw egg is left in the omelet is going to drip down into that broken piece in the bottom and fully seal it. After a total cooking time of 3 minutes, this omelet should be perfectly cooked through. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and slide the omelet into a cutting board. Then I'm going to cut it into 4 evenly sized pieces. And we'll add some of the Romesco sauce that we made earlier over the slices of omelet. Check it out, our Truita am suc is done. A beautiful omelet from the province of Tarragona in the region of Catalunya. Beautiful presentation, super easy to make. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Now this is what Spanish cuisine is all about. Here we go. The omelet itself, with all that garlic, the spinach, and the white beans is absolutely beautiful. And then the Romesco sauce just takes it to the next level. You saw this, very easy to make, simple ingredients, comes together in about 20 minutes. This is a perfect dish for any meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and you can serve it either warm or cold. Either way, the flavors are mind-blowing good. Give this a try. You're gonna absolutely love it. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Richard Easby, Lisa Larea, Edward Alvarez, and Marco Steenbergen. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon and you'd like to support Spain on a Fork, you'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. What a great recipe to end off the year. Like seriously, this is the best omelet from Spain. Forget the most epic. The best one. I mean, look at that. Guys, have fun out there tonight. And most importantly, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. See you next year. Love ya.